Hey everyone, welcome to Midday Plays. I am your host, Mindy Han. I'm filling in here for Tiffany because today they have Customer Appreciation Day at work. So she's out there serving lunch, being a woman of the people as usual. But thanks for joining us today. Make sure you get over to Tony's site. Go ahead and go to tonyspicks.com where you can take a look at all of the packages the best handicappers in the nation have available today. So it looks like there's some Major League Baseball, some college football out there. So I think you can find a little bit of everything that you like. But when you buy a package, make sure you go ahead and use the promo code TonyT at checkout. I personally am in all of the Major League Baseball games today, plus both of the two college football games. So definitely go ahead and pick up one of the packages out there, or perhaps even a best bet. All right. Want to say hi to Ron. Ron, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a while, so we'll go ahead. Oh, I think you checked in yesterday with us there a little bit. But before we start, I guess we'll recap yesterday. Almost totally had it on my same game parlay there, all the way up until the eighth inning when the relievers go ahead and give up a big fat pitch, and then all of a sudden Arizona goes up by 3. But we got Carlos Santana with a hit. We got Contreras with a hit. We had Brandon Pfaadt over 4 hits allowed. We had Brandon Pfaadt over 1 walk, Corbin Burnes over 1 walk, and I thought I easily had it once Burnes got that walk right before he got taken out of the game. So today, we're going to go ahead and go back at it. I mean, why not go back to the game that we almost totally hit there, right? So yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a fun breakdown here for you today in the Brewers and Diamondbacks there. Hey, Darren, how are you? So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a pretty good one. Like Ron said, Peralta versus Gallen there today. I mean, what kind of more matchup would we want? I think it is probably one of the better ones of the day here. So we're going to take a look. So how did you guys do yesterday? Anyone hit anything big out there? I kind of had just an okay day. A lot of the underdogs hit, and I was kind of on most of those favorites, of course. All right, so we'll get back after it here today. All right. Well, as you know, like with FanDuel and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and do a same game parlay. I have to keep my odds under minus 500. So that's kind of where I'm looking to go here today with this. And I'm going to go ahead and take a lot more basically just total bases here today instead of hits. And I'm doing that solely based off of the pitching today. And I'll tell you a little bit why as I go ahead and go through these picks here today. But we're going to go ahead and start off with Carlos Santana. We're going to go ahead and take him +1 total bases, sitting at minus 195. And again, we're looking at this based off of what Gallen has done historically, right? He doesn't give up many hits, but he does tend to walk folks. So I'm going to go ahead and take my chances here with these hits. Plus, you have Santana right now that has had a hit in 6 straight games. So I'm going to, again, be a little bit more on the conservative side because I want you guys to just go ahead and win out there, right? We're then going to go ahead and take Corbin Carroll to go ahead and get over 1 total base. So Santana over a base, Corbin Carroll over a base. He has had a hit or a single in 6 straight games as well. So there's going to be like a little bit of a theme here to this. So Santana's hit in 6 straight games. Corbin Carroll's had a hit in 6 straight games. Then we're going to go ahead and go to Mr. Yelich, right? He is going to go ahead and be over 1 base as well. Now with him, it is one of those, like, he's not on a hit streak, but he does tend to get on base. He has scored a run in 6 straight games here today. And then we're going to go with Mr. Sal Frelick as well for the Brew Crew. We're going to take him at +1 total bases there as well. It's kind of the same thing. I mean, he scores a lot, but doesn't necessarily get the hits. And versus Gallen, we know that he has, a high strikeout rate, but he does tend to walk people. So we're going to go ahead and take that. Now, Gallen, he only actually averages about 4 Ks for the Brewers. So I'm not really big on the Gallen props here today, right? Only because historically, I mean, it hasn't been so good for him versus the Brewers. I'm not sure why. But again, only averaged 4 Ks in his last outing there versus the Brewers. So what I am going to take, though, as I am going to go ahead and take Mr. Freddie Peralta today over the 5 strikeouts, right? So I think he's probably projected around 7. I think he should be able to get the 5. I would like to take the 4 to give me a little bit more room. But with the 4, that puts me over that minus 500 odds. It's sitting at like minus 550. So in order for me to get my bonuses for the same game parlay, I need to make sure I cut that back. But again, if I take a look at Freddie Peralta, I probably shouldn't be nervous at all, but it's me. I'm always nervous, right? Freddie Peralta versus the Diamondbacks. He's had both 9 and 10 Ks in his outings. He has a 3-0 record versus the Brewers, 0.55 ERA, 24 Ks versus this Diamondbacks team. So I do feel real good about Freddie Peralta. I mean, last time he got him for 10 Ks. The game before that, 9 Ks. I know it hasn't been since June, but still, I take a look at this Diamondbacks team, being pretty high on the strikeout on the strikeout list there as well. I know they hit well yesterday. They have a little bit momentum, but they're running up against Peralta here. I am going to go ahead there and give myself a little bit more room today with the Brewers in this one. I mean, Gallen is good. Peralta has a 3-0 record. I like the Brewers today, but I'm going to take the Brewers at plus 2.5 runs here to give myself, again, a little bit more of a little bit of leeway there, some variance. I'm going to take some runs because it works out that way if I want to go ahead and put these into a same game parlay. So you could take the Brewers out there, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, something like that. I opted for the 2.5 runs at minus 370 to keep it under minus 500 odds. So that's kind of how I am thinking on this one, right? I'm going to do a lot of this based off of, streaks that have happened before, how teams are playing, and all that kind of good stuff. So I like the Santana plus 1 total base, Corbin Carroll plus 1 total base, Yelich plus 1 total base, and Sal Frelick plus 1 total base. Then after that, I'm taking the Brewers plus 2.5 and Peralta over the 5K strikeouts there too. So yeah, I mean, Scotch, he also likes the under. I mean, all of my variances are really, really, really close in all of these, right? That's kind of the way it is. I mean, I'm sitting at like, if I think it will go under 7.5, I'm sitting at like 7.43. Like that's how close it is. It's like within 100% basically in most of these games. So it's going to be pretty close. More than likely, it looks like most of these unders are going to hit. Yesterday, I did like the over in most of these games. But again, we have playoff baseball. It looks like that's going to be the trend here again. So we always remember, no matter what it is for the playoffs, we're looking at unders, though, as well. And Ron says he wants to be the Beto. Beto's not even in today. I don't know what you're talking about. Beto. But Ron, I know Ron and Scotch, they kind of like Arizona on the money line. Again, that's kind of what I'm looking at too, to give myself a little bit of run, some more runs here with this team. But of course, I don't know. It's one of those that for me, Peralta's been really, really hot. I kind of think I'm going to have to go against Scotch and Ron here. I don't think they get the sweep. I think it goes to the Brewers way here today. So yeah, it's one of those that, yes, you could take a run and go under the 8.5 here as well, right? Because my numbers show up right at the 7.5. So again, I would take their advice and go ahead and go under something a little bit more to buy up. I didn't even really think about that today. I was looking, at the games and I was like, oh man, these are right on the number. Yeah, of course, Mindy, you could buy it up. And, if I'm looking at on my, parlays there too, where it's minus 500 odds, I could probably even go under a 9.5 or something like that and still be under the run total and the odds total there for those same game parlays. Again, these same game parlays are a little bit new to me, so I appreciate you guys and all of your help as we've gone through this. You guys have been great giving me these picks throughout the season. So I said, well, I need to get serious and start doing it myself here if we're going to start having these on Tony's picks on the site. And that's what we currently have, right? We have some same game parlays. We are going, or in some player props, we're moving towards the teasers here in the next couple weeks. They're working on all of that stuff on the back end so we can be documented. So I did get some here over the weekend on the Seattle game. But yeah, I'm working forward to getting more here soon. So that's where we're at. I hope you guys enjoy the picks today. I hope you guys enjoy the baseball. It was a lot of good games there yesterday, and I think it should not disappoint here again today here as well. But you guys have a good day. I'll be back tomorrow. Tiffany will be back tomorrow for some more plays. Again, get to Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. I have 3 games for you in Major League Baseball and 2 games for you in college football today. So don't miss out on those. All right, you guys. I'll see you later. Have a good day. Bye-bye.